And this is a Fox News alert. We are following several breaking developments tonight in stories that we have followed right here on this program and on Hannity's America. Now, first tonight, by now you are all familiar with this man, Columbia University professor Rashid Khalidi. Now, the Los Angeles Times is still refusing to release a videotape of Senator Obama at a party for Khalidi, at which several offensive things were allegedly said. Mr. Khalidi rejected our request for an interview, but with 5 days left before the election and there being so many unanswered questions about this story, well, we took our cameras to find him, and find him we did.
Professor Khalidi? Hi, Griff Jenkins with Fox. Can I ask you a quick question? Could you just tell me, what's your relationship with Senator Obama? So we can clarify it, sir? I apologize for interrupting, but you become the centerpiece of the election. Will you at least call for the LA Times to release the video?
Excuse us, please.
What was said? What was said at that speech? Will you talk to us?
I will not talk to you.
Were you the spokesman for the PLO? Will you confirm that? Okay.
Pablo, get these guys.
You're at the center of the election, sir. Just some quick clarifications and we'll leave. Okay.
Yes, Arafat's former spokesman a little quiet there. So why is it every time we find one of these associates of Barack Obama, they run away and refuse to say anything? Why did they all seem to look so guilty? But that's not the only tape we obtained today of Mr. Khalidi. Now, take a look at this speech. He gave this speech in 1998, and he is discussing how American foreign policy gets corrupted by domestic politics. But the example that he uses, that's what caught our attention.
The second thing to keep in mind about American foreign policy is that it is largely determined by domestic considerations almost all the time. There are many other things that go into it, but domestic considerations are always extremely important. And these are often quite mundane. Indeed, these are sometimes appallingly crass interests. They are the kind of things that move domestic politics in Chicago. Money, votes, corruption, bribery, influence peddling, backdoor deals, the kind of things that Cook County, the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, the politics on the local level work through and because of. The kind of you scratch my back and I scratch yours, kind of khosh-bosh type of dealing, which when it's talked about in the Middle East is considered revolting and degrading and third world corruption, is actually what oils American politics. If you don't know this, you're not living in the United States.
Now, anybody know any politicians from Chicago? Now, Khalidi makes it sound like corruption is just part of life in Windy City politics. Now, good thing Senator Obama doesn't know anyone, let's see, like Tony Resco? But that's not all. In just a few minutes, we're going to reveal some shocking and potentially explosive details about the unrepentant terrorist Bill Ayers. We have just confirmed, you see this book here today, and you won't believe what we're going to show you and who this book by Bill Ayers and Bernardine Dohrn was dedicated to. And there is another breaking development tonight concerning the unrepentant terrorist Bill Ayers. Now, Hannity and Combs has, in fact, obtained a copy of this book. It is written by Bill Ayers and his wife, Bernardine Dohrn, in 1974. It's called Prairie Fire, The Politics of Revolutionary Anti-Imperialism. Now, this book proved very difficult to obtain. Even the New York City Public Library, one of the largest libraries in the world, could not provide us with a copy of this book. Now, the book reads like a manifesto of the Weather Underground, but the most shocking thing is on the dedication page. Mr. Ayers and his band of terrorists devote the book to, quote, all political prisoners in the U.S., and the book then lists about 100 or so names. Among the names they list, a U.S. political prisoner, Sirhan Sirhan. That's right. This college professor, who was just a guy from the neighborhood, who never meant to hurt anybody, who bombed the Pentagon, the Capitol, New York City police headquarters, dedicated his book to the man who assassinated Robert F. Kennedy. So how can the same Democrats who are making a million excuses for Ayers and Obama be okay with this? We continue now with Pat Goodell and Ann Coulter. Pat, I know you a long time. I don't think there's any bigger fan than Robert Kennedy than you. Now, he sat on boards with him. He wrote favorably about his book. He sat on the Woods Foundation, the Annenberg Foundation, the Annenberg Challenge. The guy's a respected professor now. He dedicates a book. He's not sorry about bombings. He stomps on the American flag, says guilty as hell, free as a bird. What a great country. How is this not a bigger issue for Democrats like yourself?
Well,
Well, for me personally, Ayers is a real problem. I'm shocked at this thing about Sirhan. Robert Kennedy was my political hero, as he was many people's. This is the 40th year since his assassination. That changed America. Ayers is out there bombing people. I really don't understand what our problem is in denouncing him. And also, this, you know, when the mayor says of Chicago, "Oh, that was 40 years ago," well, that's when Robert Kennedy was killed. And this is a man endorsing. I'm sorry, I don't know why Obama has not denounced.
I want to take it a step further here.
I wish they would, because you cannot defend the indefensible. This man tried to kill people.
Here's my question, Pat. He's on the verge of being elected president here, and
yes,
first of all, I don't believe. Let me be very blunt with our audience. I think that Barack Obama lied when he said he didn't know about Wright. I think he lied when he first said, "Oh, he's just a guy that lives in my neighborhood." The association is extensive. I think it's also about his judgment. It's Ayers, it's Wright, it's Flager, it's Resco, it's Khalid Rashidi, whatever his name, Rashid Khalidi. It's he goes to the Million Man March with Farrakhan. The most radical elements in society, and everyone wants to dismiss it. And I want to know why.
The problem with this election is the only place you can find out facts like this is on Hannity and Combs or Hannity's America. Why is it that this book of Bill Ayers, this friend of the man who may be the next president in a matter of months, Hannity and Combs is the first one to get a copy of this book dedicated to Sirhan. That is shocking. That is frightening. But in point of fact, I know Obama is going to say about this, oh, 74, that was so many years ago. No one seems to have noticed, also like no one noticed this until tonight, that he also dedicated Fugitive Days, his most recent book, to a whole list of cop killers.
This has nothing to do with Barack Obama.
Everyone is a cop killer. It has nothing to do with Barack Obama.
Let someone else speak now
Every
for a second.
single one of Obama's friends is a dangerous lunatic.
Every single